Let's say, what the hell are you watching, bro?
Sports Center put up a Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy montage on TLC matches.
Just showing all the crazy shit that they did.
Yeah. The first one was, holy shit. The first one was when Edge speared him, when he had the belt at the top of the ladder, and Bubba Ray pulled the ladder. They had like the best matches in the world. The Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. That's my personal opinion. I don't watch wrestling as much as you guys.
Yeah.
But like in those days, that I enjoyed it. They're delivering mail on Sundays. All right. Oh, because yesterday was a holiday, and they probably weren't delivering. Answer my own question. You gotta be shitting me. You're lying.
Yeah. Ready to get started?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about a little bit about the good times of last night? If there was any.
Honestly, dude, it was amazing until like the last 10 to 15 minutes. Shit hit a fucking whirlwind very quickly. Like very quickly. So I mean, just because we're on the live, I'm not, but I mean, I definitely don't mind talking about it. I mean, I've already talked about it with one of my boys, and he was like, I mean, you made me feel a little, I ain't gonna say better, but it's a little more understanding personally. The Southern in me don't like catering to fuckers' feelings, so.
Yeah.
So.
It's all good, man. But we'll start off. I guess we're talking about Cam, and then we'll just kind of go from there. All right. So in 5, 4, 3, 2. What Is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the All Pro JAFFO's episode 21. We are live right now on YouTube for the first time in a long time. Joining me today is the beast from the southeast, the 6'10" monster, Country Kate. That so is that like a sedan you're in?
I guess it's technically a sedan, yeah. Under
It's
a
a
car.
big interior then, unless your seat's like sunk all the way down.
I mean, there's definitely adjusting back due to my height, but I mean, it's a nice size in here, you know.
As long as it can fit you, I bet you people see you in there, and then when you hop out, they go, "Oh hell no!"
Every
like, how does he fit in there?
every single car. Like when I first moved to California and I was up north, one of the guys, he had a Jetta. He wasn't on the team, he was just like a friend of the players, of a few players. He had a Jetta, so he let me drive it one time and I got that same reaction. They were like, he looks big, but you know what I mean? They're thinking like I'm just like wide. And then when I got out, it was like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm JP. Brother EA, and Matchsticks will not be joining us today. Matchsticks is out there protesting once again on the front lines. This time going to Newsom's house, which can't wait to hear the feedback from that. Also shot a music video, was it a couple weeks ago, that he's getting ready to get done. So once that's done and over with, we will have that on the show. Good things, I guess, coming up for the show. At least fingers crossed right now. Next show, most likely we will have a special guest. I'm not going to reveal the name of that guest just yet. Up until that show, because again, it's basically all on their time right now. So whenever they get back or do whatever it is they need to do, they're going to talk to us and we're going to figure everything out. So we'll see how that goes. But since then, when we thought the AFC East would finally possibly have another divisional champion, the New England Patriots go and sign Cam Newton. Did you see the whole thing? So after they signed Cam Newton, the sanctions that came down on them
Yeah.
for spying on the Bengals, which, let's be real, they didn't need to spy on the Bengals. There was
Yeah.
no reason why they needed to spy on the Bengals. So they basically got fined $1.1 million and a third round draft pick. So now, with Newton only signing for basically the same thing at, I think it was like $1.4 million, if that he got paid. There was a scenario that got popped out that said if the Patriots, end up not holding on to Cam after this season, they get a 2021 third round draft pick back.
Yeah.
So it's basically like sanctions did. What's $1.1 million to a team as a fine? Like, really, that was kind of one of those slap on the wrist fines. Yeah, we know it's the Bengals, but we got to do something. So, but with Cam going to the Patriots, that opens up a whole new thing of possibilities for Belichick to now do, because now he has a quarterback that can run. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking? What are your predictions with Cam and the Patriots? They going to go another division title this year with him?
So, firstly, I believe they were going to get it with Stead anyway. They were going to win the division with Stead. Yeah.
Really?
You gotta remember, yeah, because think about Oh shit. I think I had cheese in my beer. Anyway, just think about we had cheeseburger before this. Think about the division. Jets as Miami, not together yet. They need another year because Tua is not fully yet. And was
The Bills.
Bills, yeah. So I feel like the Bills, I agree with almost every sports analyst I've seen. I don't believe in Josh Allen.
Really?
Yeah, like
He
Josh
didn't
Allen,
have a bad season last season.
that's not what I'm saying that for.
Did
The
really
only reason
well.
I'm saying I don't believe in him just simply because he's more like he's a young man Fitzpatrick to where when you put expectations on him, shit's the bed.
Mm.
I haven't heard anybody say this about him, so I feel like I'm probably the first person making this comparison.
Hmm.
But I feel like he's a young man's Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean? He makes great plays. He does things like where he jumps over players and shit like that. But in those games where, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, they did all right in the playoffs when they lost in what was the first round or whatever.
Yeah, first round.
Yeah, he did all right. But, I mean,
They
they,
didn't have a bad record. What were they? 11-4 or 11-5?
yeah, but I feel like that defense did all that. You know what I mean? It's like
Defensively was pretty good.
they're getting guaranteed wins against Miami and the Jets. Sam Darnold, one, don't have help, and two, I mean, again, I'm back to Jamal Adams don't lead anything. Like he's not a leader for that defense. You get what I'm saying? So again, if you're gonna
Interesting.
say and say, I am a leader, I am a leader. All right, cool. Y'all just went fucking 3-13 again.
I mean, I would say head coaching wise, didn't really help. Darnold was out for what, 3 or 4 weeks when he had a pretty decent start. Then he got mono. So then, he was out of it for a while after that. And it just, right now with the Jets, they're missing a couple of key pieces on offense. They definitely need a better offensive line. That's for sure. Running game could probably use a little bit of work too. But receiver wise, they might need a few weapons. They need a good tight end. Everywhere on offense, they seem to have at least one hole that if they had, they had Robbie Anderson and Jamison Crowder, and they still have Crowder this coming year, but they need another guy or another tight end to kind of complement that, and that's what they don't have just yet. So I think the Jets, if they can figure it out, they have the potential to be a good team. I think the Bills with Brady leaving had the best chance out of the other two teams in the division to finally get the division crown with Brady gone. But now that Cam Newton's there, it's just kind of, and it's like, well, now you have Cam Newton, a guy who has a great arm. He can throw the ball short route, medium, throw the long ball, but he's a big body. He's hard to take down, and he can run. That just opens up a whole nother, you know, offensive style that you can work with, So Josh McDaniels having this guy now, he's like, all right, well, I had Tom Brady before who can just sling the rock, couldn't really run. Now I can add, not just what we've been doing in the past, but I can add all the, QB runs, read options, more RPO stuff, to be able to use Cam in those situations. So I think the Patriots just got better. Now it's just a matter of they have what? They have Julian Edelman, and
N'Keal Harry.
Harry didn't really have that great of a season last year. He was hurt most of the year.
When he came back, he started doing well. He had a 100-yard game, and I think he played like 5.
So if he can
So
stay healthy, he
I
could
think
probably.
that injury and all that was like, was it OTAs or like when he was in college? It was like something like that. It had nothing to do about the NFL season. He didn't get hurt in the game, I don't believe. But again, not my team, so the memory is not completely vivid. But to be honest with you, I predicted this almost. I didn't predict Cam Newton going there, but I predicted that they would get that style of quarterback because you remember I said that Jalen Hurts was going to go there. I kept saying that. I'm like, they're going to pick up Jalen Hurts. It's almost that's like baby Cam Newton. The only thing that Jalen Hurts doesn't have is Cam Newton ability to absorb hits as much
He
as
didn't have his size.
yeah.
He didn't have that 6 foot, you know, 6 frame, 250, 260. He didn't have that frame.
So, but again, same type of runner. They'll run, they'll throw the ball, good arm. I'm telling you, I predicted that. I feel like the Patriots was going to go in that direction to spite Brady because you had a pure pocket passer. I knew they was going to get a hybrid. I knew it. I'm like,
You
you're going to
think,
get a hybrid.
speaking of Jalen Hurts, you think Carson Wentz is out after this year?
Yeah, good
If he
chance.
gets hurt, I think he does. If he gets hurt again, I think he does leave because it's just, what was that, 3-4 years in a row now?
It's literally the entire time he's been in the NFL.
Exactly. He's had some sort of injury. You know, obviously it opened up a window for Nick Foles to etch himself in history, but you know, it just with Wentz, is he a good quarterback? Yeah, he can be. He had an MVP caliber season before he got hurt. You know, that last, or was it 2 years ago? That Super Bowl season? You know, before he got hurt there, he was having an MVP caliber season. You know, and now if he can finish the whole season and perform well, then I think, you know, they'll use Jalen Hurts kind of how the Saints use Hill.
Oh, Hill, Taysom Hill. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
I was thought you meant Teddy Bridgewater. But honestly, I think the Philly fans are split. Philly and split too close together, tongue tied. Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like they're split. I still feel like, they just won the bowl not too long ago. So I feel like their fans were like, yeah, let's do Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're still on that. Like, regardless that most of the team is like pretty much gone aside from the O-line and like, the head quarterback and Dougie P.
Well, Philly fans are very "what have you done for me lately" type of fans.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so again with Wentz getting hurt basically the whole time, fans look at that going, "Well, here's what you've done for me lately. You've shown me glimpses of hope, glimpses of joy, and then afterwards you get hurt and we're nowhere to be found again." You know, so I think it was actually a smart idea for the Eagles to pick up Hurts because, like I said, with Wentz in, you could use Jalen Hurts in that Taysom Hill style of offense or whatever. Even with those packages, yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm there too. But like you can take Wentz out, so he can take less damage, basically. Different packages and stuff like that you can use Jalen Hurts in. It could open things up for him, and they just picked up two very, very fast wide receivers with Goodwin and that TCU receiver that they picked up. And they
Yeah.
got Zach Ertz. They still have
Darren Sproles still?
huh?
Darren Sproles, is he still there? Or did he retire?
I think he retired.
Man, I'm not entirely
I
sure
might be
anymore.
wrong on that.
He has a Brett Favre career, I promise you.
Retiring and then coming back.
Yeah, like he gets hurt, it's like, oh, he's gonna retire, and then he just next thing you know, he's like returning the kick. But like what? Like, are you leaving or not? But yeah, no, I agree. I agree. With the receivers, I just hope those receivers are not like Oakland Raider S players. where they're super fast, but their hands of stone.
Goodwin was good. The only thing that kind of kept him out with the Niners, like he performed well with the Niners. It was just he had injury problems and stuff like that too. And with Deebo Samuel coming up and becoming a monster, and then they traded for Emmanuel Sanders, and then Kittle is obviously doing that. They could afford to let go Goodwin and then go pick up Ayuk, who's a pretty damn good wide receiver. He just did the only thing that kind of differentiates him from the other top 3 receivers was the fact that he went to a Pac-12 school. That's a small. He doesn't get anywhere near as much attention as a guy from Alabama would, like Ruggs and Judy, or even was CeeDee Lamb in the Big 12. Big 12 gets all the attention and stuff like that, and the 2 air it out style offenses.
Yeah.
So when you look at Ayuk's film, that dude's no joke. He's got good frame. He's got great hands. Can go up and get it. He's pretty fast. He's not going to wow you with like 4.2, 4.3 speed, but he's fast enough to be able to break away. He's got decent size. I think him, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle is going to be just an absolute dream scenario for Jimmy Garoppolo. And you have 2 running backs in Raheem Mostert and Tevin Coleman who can run the rock. You got an offensive line who loves running the football.
One problem, though, before you continue, because you just mentioned the running backs. You remember Coleman was on the Falcons.
Right.
I saw him twice a year. He is not a threat.
Who, Coleman?
Not a threat. He was only a threat when y'all had the triple set because you were able to rotate him out. Oh, he was. Hold on. Was he a part of the 3?
Yeah, it was Tevin Coleman, it was Raheem Mostert, and it was Breida.
Breida, yes.
Breida just went to Miami. But look at it this way. It's Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert, but we still have Jerick McKinnon coming back too.
Not a threat. Since he's been in the league, not a threat. His intangibles are amazing. Look, players on your team's intangibles are amazing, but right now you only have maybe a handful of guarantees. You get what I mean? Guaranteed that Kittle's going to produce. I would like to debate best tight end in the league because I believe you're going to go with Kittle, and I think it's still my man in Kansas City. I promise you.
He doesn't run block nearly as well as Kittle does.
I agree. That would be the plus I give you, but outside of that, like you know what I'm saying, like it would be a road debate. But anyway, I feel like he's a guarantee. Garoppolo's not a guarantee. You know what I mean? You can give Monster because he did that Packers game and he played very well in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't say he's a guarantee though, just based on how his career has been.
He did an amazing job in the back half of the season because I don't think anybody was prepared for him. And in Kyle Shanahan's offense, it opened shit up for running backs like him to be able to use his speed and stuff like that to be able. That dude glides when he runs too. He makes it look so effortless. Like he's kind of like he's not as good, but the way he moves and how fluid it's kind of like an Alvin Kamara that he just doesn't look like he's running very fast, but he's breaking away from everyone.
Yeah,
like he looks like he's gliding. That's Raheem Mostert basically. So I don't think anybody was ready for him. So that back half of the season, so it will be very, very interesting to see. Especially from here on out, how much bigger of a role they're going to give him going into this next season. And, are they going to start using him on the outside when it comes to like swing routes and stuff like that? You can use him but like I said, we still have a threesome of running backs. It's just one of them is a veteran, we would say. He's been in the league, decent amount of years. We're probably looking at Tevin Coleman, maybe 3 more years into the league, 3-4 more years solid in the league, barring he doesn't get injured and stuff like that. Because running backs take a beating. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the beast when it comes to the league. So he's got, maybe about three years left in him. Mostert has been in the league for about 3-4 years, but it wasn't until the last season where he really got his break. And then you have Jerick McKinnon, who the last time he played had a pretty damn good season in Minnesota before he came into the Niners, or he ended up, tearing his ACL and being out for 2 years, basically. So we're still yet to see how. I'm just saying with these three running backs, and plus what that veteran and Tevin Coleman has been with Kyle Shanahan before, knows the offense and everything like that. So he's been in the offense, he knows it. I'm just saying the knowledge of the offense is there to be able to help out with the other guys.
Let me ask you this. All right, hold on. Before I ask you this question, my one point I was gonna say is the reason why I don't feel like Monster's a guarantee or your running backs aren't a guarantee is because you just gave scratch that. The reason why I mentioned those last two games, NFC Championship and the Bowl, is simply because these are clutch moments. And their clutch factor is gonna play most of a part because y'all gonna have a big ass fucking target on y'all back. You get what I mean? Any team that made the Super Bowl, they got a big target. Kansas City has the biggest target, literally. The Ravens might be 1B. You know what I mean? And then y'all. All three of y'all have probably some of the biggest targets on your back just simply because people know that you guys are a good team. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. I'll still think what I think about your team, even though most of it's just shit talking. But I recognize that you guys are a good team. Like, I'm just being straightforward. Y'all guys are a good team. I won't give you y'all genuine credit just simply because you have too many loose ends. You have too many loose ends. Like, because you have some games where Jimmy looks like fucking 2002 Brady, and then some games he looks like fucking Mark Sanchez. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, where did you go? Like, why are you so inconsistent? And it's the same coach.
Right. It has the same coach, but I'm looking at it this way because I honestly think Jimmy's going to be better this year than he was last year. And I say this because of this. Last season, he, during the offseason and everything like that, he had to worry about rehabbing the knee. Worrying about rehab and then having to get, back into everything else like that. He had all that stuff to worry about in the offseason and all that stuff Now he doesn't have to worry about the rehab anymore. Now he can stay more into the books. Now he can even, study film a whole lot more, be able to progress, basically. So, and this is coming from Kyle Shanahan going, be on the lookout for Jimmy Garoppolo this season. This is the year that I think he proves it. Like everyone still has their questions about Jimmy G, but I think this is the year that he proves that he's he's the future. He's the next, possible, Joe Montana, Steve Young, winning Super Bowls type shit, for the 49ers. He has all the potential in the world to be a great. It's just now he has a coach that can help him get there. It's just on the off season and everything else like that. What are you going to do and how are you going to perform? And I think this is going to be that year. He's going to throw for over 4,000 yards. I think even 35 plus touchdowns. He'll throw less picks than he threw last year because he's going to be a little bit more careful with the ball than he was. I'm telling you, he's going to have an upgrade on all of his stats this next year. This is that prove it. You know what? You guys still don't think that I'm going to be the guy. This whole offseason while Brady was trying to figure out where to go, everyone was talking about him going to the Niners because nobody believes in Jimmy. Now that that's not an option, people are talking about, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is going to want out soon. Is he going to go to the Niners now? People don't believe in Jimmy. So even Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch believe in Jimmy. They have come off and said that time and time and time again, but nobody else does. Nobody else outside of that circle does. So I think this year is, I've said it plenty of times before, revenge tour 2020. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be even better. Kittle is going to be even better. Kittle might even break his own record, his own single season record that he had 2 seasons ago. Ayuk, Debo, the offensive line, got a bump and everything in it too. We're not looking bad. Our defensive line is still monstrous. We lost Buckner, but we gained Kinlaw for 4 more years and cheaper. And even then, we still have 3 guys on that defensive line who were monsters last year with Bosa and Armstead. Out of all 4 of them, Armstead led the team in sacks. People forget that. So to get him, and then D Ford, he was injured a good amount of last season, but when he was in, he was just disruptor. He wasn't getting all the sacks in the world, but he was getting a shit ton of hurries. He was getting there to the quarterback. He was giving them problems. So that front 4 is still, basically, the best front 4 defensive linemen in, at minimal, the NFC. I think at minimal, if not the entire NFL. Those 4 defensive linemen are the best front 4 defensive linemen in minimal the entire NFC.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got that one. I would like to talk about the interior 7, though. I would switch that up, and you guys won't bleed anymore. Your front 4, yes. Your interior 7, no.
So what?
Because you bring you guys down.
Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw. Those aren't 3 guys that'll.
Bro, I'm being biased, but you really have to understand. Levante David, Devin White, and Shaquille Barrett. Bro, those 3 guys are definitely better than your 3 guys. I love Quan to death. I literally told you, like, I cried a little when we lost Quan to y'all. Because all of my friends that are Niner fans are gonna talk shit. Like, I'm the only Buck fan probably you guys know. So that's why I was saying, it's like, I love Quan. I'm telling you, the one game that made me fall in love with Quan is he played after his brother died, and he went fucking crazy on the Saints. He went crazy. And that shit, when he was crying, I was like, I got goosebumps. Like, bro, when he was in the locker room talking after the game. I love Quan.
I would agree statistically that your linebackers, are better, than ours for right now. But our linebacking core minus Quan Alexander is still very young, and they're already still very good. Fred Warner, this was his 2nd year in the league, performing beyond his expectations. Dre Greenlaw, rookie, performed beyond expectations. Goal line tackle to save the number 1 seed. Yeah, that guy. Be way beyond expectations. Right now, the main focus, I think, on the 49er defense, and even though Pro Football Focus even put K'Wan Williams and Richard Sherman as the 2 top the DB duo in the entire NFL. This is Pro Football Focus saying this. That's the top duo DBs in the NFL. Safeties wise and nickel wise, we still had a little bit of a problem. Emmanuel Mosley, I think, is the answer, is that 3rd DB, that is going to basically help shut it down. I don't have a lot of faith in Witherspoon. I don't. Just going that back half of the season, every time he was in, he was a fucking liability. He was like Ryan Gosling's fucking character in Remember the Titans. Just complete liability on the field. Anytime that he was in, he was getting burnt. Just route run. He wasn't the guy. But then you put in Emmanuel Mosley, who's a more physical style DB. He's not as big as Witherspoon, but he's more physical, getting in there to disrupt receivers. He did a hell of a job. Safety wise, I think Jaquaski Tart is going to be a top safety. Do I think? I still think trading him for Jamal Adams and then Pettis in a second rounder, those guys to the Jets for Jamal Adams would be a godsend for the 49ers, because then during the offseason, during the draft next year, your top round or your first round pick is more than likely at that point going to be a free safety. Because even if you have Tart at strong safety or Jamal Adams, either one of those guys is a good option, to have at strong safety, being able to defend the run. They're pretty decent out in the passing game. They're great in open field tackling. Free safety position was one of those. Yeah, we had Jimmy Ward, but I still don't have, the complete faith that Jimmy Ward is the answer there at free safety. I think Caden Stearns coming from Texas is the answer to free safety, for the 49ers. That's who I think. He's like an Earl Thomas type of dude. Just center field, sideline to sideline, and a thumper as well.
How long do you think? Well, firstly, I'll say this: do you think he's going to get reps, like a good amount of reps?
Who? Stearns?
Yeah.
If the 49ers draft Stearns, he will be a day one starter.
Okay.
I guarantee it. That dude has just so much fucking talent, dude. It honestly, in my opinion, I'm not even putting, Longhorn bias or anything in there. He's the best free fucking safety that's going to be coming into this draft. He's the best free safety that's going to be in there. Okay. So I think if the 49ers can somehow get their hands on him, that defense, at least minimal for the next 4 or 5 years, is going to be just as scary as the 2000 Ravens were. I'm telling you, dude, they're going to be one of the scariest defenses that have ever hit the field. Because I'm telling you right now, because this defense right now, a top 10 defense, as young as they are, with more experience in the playoffs and championship situations and stuff like that, they're just going to get better. And it's just the veteran, leadership that all these guys are going to have after that point. I'm telling you, they're already giving people nightmares. Just imagine how much worse it's going to be if they get that one or even two pieces on defense that just completes everything.
Do you remember week 1 when you guys played us this past season?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like your defense beat us, but the fact is your defense really didn't beat us. Our quarterbacks were just terrible. You get what I'm saying? The very first play of the game just throws the pick to Richard Sherman to go to the house. No. So here's my point. We have my point is we have more weapons now compared to last year.
On offense, yes, for sure. No, I completely agree with that. Last year, the weapons that you guys had, you just didn't have a quarterback that could get them the ball. That's all it was.
Here's my point. That game's going to come to a defensive battle, and Jimmy G is not going to be the one that's going to win the game for y'all. Just because our pass rush is crazy. Like, people, granted, everybody lost love for him because of that shit he did in Green Bay and the rest of that year. But we got Ndamukong Suh still, and he actually was very good this past season. I did not want him to keep him because I wanted Kinlaw for real when I saw the first projections. But again, I'm happy with fucking Hurts. I don't know how to say his name, Tristan,
Hmm.
Riss,
No, you
whatever,
needed an offensive lineman. You needed at least one offensive line.
the Brady pickup. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm gonna just tell you, just say it like this: Brady stays in New England, Cam comes to us, right? If that happened, the switch, they would not draft Tristan Wirfs or whatever, however you say his name. They wouldn't draft him. We wouldn't have got the old lineman from Indiana. We wouldn't have got any of those all season pickups at O line. We wouldn't have did all that shit. It would have been a different dynamic and it would have been a different team.
That's interesting though on why. I get it's Tom Brady. You need to protect Tom Brady, but you need to protect your quarterback no matter who it is.
I got that, but people
So
want to play with Brady. Like people in that realm, like receivers and O linemen want to play with Brady. Like that's more of the thing. Because when you look at it from that standpoint, like the game feel just watching that part of the game instead of like, the whole package is like, all right, cool, cool, cool. You know what I mean? Just only look at like the O line and the dynamic between Brady and the O line. It's like, bro, that shit is fucking beautiful. Because I feel like he get him better, even when he had the 1 year, well, a couple years when they had a very shitty O line in New England. They
yeah,
still actually perform. You get what I'm saying? Like as a team, not the O linemen because they were fucking terrible. But um, I feel like Brady people just want to play with Brady. Like O linemen and receivers just want to play with him. For Gronk to do what he did, like Gronk was beat the fuck up. He had so many surgeries in a matter of 4 years. Like he was beat to shit, bro. Like he was beat to shit, dog. And for him to fucking take a year off, party, he ain't stopped partying. Took a year off, come back when he see Tom goes to another team. I feel like he just wanted to get out of New England. Like he was gonna come back no matter what team Brady went to. You get what I'm saying? Just based off of Gronk leaving, they probably had a conversation. They probably had a conversation like, look, I'm gonna play this fucking last year. Then you go get healthy. You get what I'm saying? Whatever team I go to, because Gronk he's turning 31 or just turned 31. He's not fucking burnt. You get what I'm saying? His last season was 29. He set out at 30.
yeah,
So it's not like he was fucked off. You get what I mean? So I mean, age-wise, he wasn't fucked off age-wise because he was already in the league. He knows how it goes.
yeah.
But I seriously feel like he just was recovering and all that shit. And this was planned by them because they're not doing shit for nothing, bro. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
really not doing shit for nothing. Like you can tell, like based on the shit that they do up there in New England, they just don't do shit for nothing. Like the whole Malcolm Butler, that was for nothing. I mean, it was for nothing to us, but I mean, he had a fucking reason to do that stupid ass shit. You know?
Yeah. But it just looks like now especially with Tampa Bay, they that whole offense and that basically the whole team with the signing of Brady and then signing Gronk after that, it re-energized the entire, concept of what the Bucks can become. With Bruce Arians, it's all with Bruce Arians at the helm and with Tom Brady running the offense and stuff like that. With that offense, with those weapons, it's almost like all of them started drinking cans of Rays. Like that it's almost be like everyone had a big ass case of Rays and they just passed it around to everybody and gave everybody that voodoo flavor. And they said, Tom Brady, you do that voodoo that you do so well. And you bring us a Super Bowl. Hey, that was a hell of a segue, wasn't it? It was pretty decently set up. Ladies and gentlemen, Raise Energy is what we are talking about. Those Raise Energy drinks. Take a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, Raise has become the most popular and best rated energy drink on the market to date with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most competitors. It's a shame. I already said the Voodoo. They have Apollo, Galaxy Burst, Guava Mango, the Baja line. They have the new watermelon flavored one that they have. It's just ridiculously good. How see, it looks like Kay probably needs a raise right now. Wake
Yes.
up your eyes.
Wake up my whole everything. Like I'm tired. So I'm ready.
You, the listeners, and the viewers here on YouTube can go to repsports.com. That's REPP sports.com. And at checkout, make sure you use the promo code Alpha Raise to get 15% off your order. Yes, 15% off of your order. Become a part of the Raise Rebellion. Raise Energy, repsports.com. Promo code Alpha Raise for 15% off. Hell of a commercial right there. If I do say myself, I was working on my segues, man. I was thinking about it, going, you know what? Some of the segues that we have going into these commercials are so half-assed and sorry that it almost gets to the point where I'm afraid that we might lose the sponsorship just because the thing is so. So I'm just practicing on a little bit. So I hope that one was a little bit better. But going into the next segment or next topic of conversation, FedEx, as in FedEx Field, out there in Washington, told the Redskins they need to change their name. Otherwise, they will no longer be funded or sponsored by FedEx. And then not too long after that, Nike came and did the same thing. You type in Washington Redskins on the Nike.com website and nothing will pop up. Nothing will pop up. So now, because of that, the Washington, we don't knows, all the higher ups and stuff like that are now talking about what are they going to change the name to. I thought, this is just me, perfect opportunity to bring the replacements to life. Washington Sentinels, bring out Keanu Reeves being the Shane Falco, have him coming out in the Shane Falco jersey on opening night. Bro, you can't write a better script to that. You can't. I think they might need a different color scheme because it's very similar to the Patriots, but Washington Sentinels, that's my pick. Logo and everything, just different color scheme to it. Kay, what do you think the Washington Redskins should change their name to?
Not that. I'll tell you that much, sir. Not that. I do not want to see Keanu Reeves, aka dirty ass John Wick, walking out on the field, long hair, waving his fucking hand from a fictional movie when you had Orlando Jones as a cash register fucking checkout boy that couldn't catch for shit. He couldn't catch a coal in Antarctica butt ass naked. Like, no.
The cast of them come. You have the kicker and everything. The whole with the cigarette lit. You have the whole, the sumo, all of those dudes. You have them all come out in their replacements jerseys, waving to the first ever team. Oh, that would be gold. That would be gold.
You know, to be.
By the way, I just want it to be known that it was said here first by me, JP. I was the one who said that this was going to happen. So if it does happen, sign me up for a marketing thing somewhere. We can get this rolling. But
since we're making plugs, I need a fucking sponsor. Fuck. I'm sorry, I came out fucked up. I want a scouting job because I picked that New England was going to get that type of quarterback. I said Jalen Hurts, but Cam Newton is definitely an upgrade to that. But again, back to the point of the Washington. I seriously don't believe it should be that. This is not my answer, but when you were just talking right now, I thought of it. What if Washington pulled some shit to when they did the same thing that the New Orleans Pelicans and the Charlotte Hornets did. Do you remember what happened with that? Because you remember that they used to be called the Bobcats when they moved to Charlotte.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were in New Orleans. They were also fucking Bobcats then. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, where is it? No. When they went to Charlotte, they were called Bobcats.
Charlotte was the Hornets. Then they became the Bobcats. Then they went back to the Hornets, moved to New Orleans, were the New Orleans Hornets, and then changed their name to the Pelicans.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So my take is that they fucking buy the name from Robert Kraft to become the Washington fucking Patriots, and then the Patriots switch their name to something else, and they move teams because they don't have fucking Brady if they don't win this year with Cam.
The Washington Patriots?
That's what I just thought about right now when you were talking. This is not my answer, but this is just some shit that just popped in my head as you were talking. Because in DC, I don't like it at all. But I'm saying it's very patriotic.
Yeah, so is calling the New England Patriots. It's the whole aspect of down there and the whole history of Boston and everything like that. That makes sense. What? There's no Patriot in Washington right now. That would be a complete contradiction.
That's what I said. That's not my answer, but that's what just popped in my head right now as you were talking.
Well, okay, so if Sentinels is not an option for you, it should be like, I guess something that has to do with DC, right? You can't say the Washington Monuments because that would be just dumb.
Dumb as shit, but I feel like it'll be referenced to, you know, the White House, the government and shit like that. You can't go Eagles because they already got the Eagles in Philly. So it'll be something in reference to that. I feel like that's what it'll be.
They wouldn't go with Senators, would they?
That is a strong possibility, to be honest with you.
Washington Senators?
Or
there's already I think there's a minor league baseball team that's called the Washington Senators, if I'm not mistaken. But for them, like it was said, it would either have to do something in government or something that let's see, what's Washington's state bird? Washington DC state bird.
say some shit like the bald eagle.
The wood thrush.
Hell no.
The Washington wood thrushes, and this is what they would look like. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's intimidating as hell. Let's do that.
God, no. His fucking breasts look like those ugly ass army jerseys they be making college football players wearing the fucking goddamn games. And the fucking
Maybe you can get a team out of the Blitz the League. Let's see.
I saw a couple because I was in a bunch of different
the Washington Red Hawks. That was out of Blitz the League. The Washington Red Hawks. Not a bad logo.
Oh shit.
I mean,
my job's calling. Hold on, dude.
Yep. I can pause this. Still live on YouTube though. Breaking the action, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you get when you watch YouTube live version. You get the behind the scenes before the final product takes place. Oh.
Fucking hate my job. I swear to you. Like I like it and the fucking benefits, but this shit is bullshit. Now I gotta go home now. Gotta go home now because oh fuck. Oh, you paused it, right?
I paused the recording, but we're still live on
I
YouTube.
can't hear you, dude.
Not at all? Hear me? What the heck? Can you hear me now? What the fuck is going on here? Hear me?
I can see your mouth, but I can't hear shit.
I can hear you. What the heck? What's going on here?